Hi all my honey bunches of oats, this is Shauna with Love Meets Cake. This customer wanted to propose to his girlfriend using a cake. Oh, how special! So I decided to do a silhouette theme. Alright, so first I'm going to start with squeezing some buttercream onto the cake board so the cake doesn't slide around. And this flavor is a 3-layer yellow cake with raspberry filling. So what I'm doing first is piping a buttercream dam around the border of the cake so that way when we put the filling in, it doesn't squeeze out through the sides. Next, I'm going to do a crumb coat, and a crumb coat is a thin layer of icing that goes on the cake first, and it's called a crumb coat because it's going to trap your crumbs in your icing, so when you do your final coating, you don't have any crumbs in that final coating. So always do that crumb coat first, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator to chill. Alright, so I have my crumb coat on. Next, I'm just going to clean up the border of the cake by taking my bench scraper with a napkin and then just going around the sides. Alright, so that's going to be in the refrigerator for a few minutes. Next, I'm going to do some fondant work, so I want to go ahead and roll out my silhouette. And then what I'm going to do is knead in some gum arabic into the fondant to make it a little bit more firm, so that way it's easier to cut out the shapes. And by the way, you can use gum arabic or Tylose powder or CMC powder. All of those will actually work in order to firm up your fondant. Once we have our fondant rolled out, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the shape. It's easier to lift up the fondant first and then lift up the cutter. And next, what I'm doing here, whenever you cut out shapes with fondant, there's a little bit of frillies on the perimeter of the shape that you cut out. So I usually take my fingers and then just rub those frillies in so that way you have smooth edges. This is where doing fondant work can take a long time, and sometimes you might think just because you have a cutter it's going to go quickly, but you always have to smooth out those fondant edges, and that can take quite a bit of time. Alright, so I'm going to set that aside on a paper towel. I'm also going to include a link in the description bar of where you can get that silhouette cutter online. Next, I have some pearls that's draping on the cake. So I have a pearl mold here, and I'm going to put a rope of white fondant in there, and I'm going to make a few ropes of pearls. Alright, next I have edible pearl spray, and I'm going to spray those pearls just to give it a sheen. You may not be able to see too well, but the pearls look like pearls. Next, he just wanted something on the cake board that says, "Will you marry me?" So I'm just rolling on a thin layer of fondant so I can write that on the cake board. Now the cake is going to have some chocolate dip berries. Another request that he had is that it have teal, which is his girlfriend's favorite color. So I'm going to do some teal sparkle berries and some gold sparkle berries. In other videos, you probably noticed that I put shortening into the chocolate when I melted it, and that's just something I always do to thin out my chocolate. So I'm not going to do any sort of fancy designs with the berries. I'm just going to do some basic chocolate dipping, and then I'm going to sprinkle on some sanding sugar. Look what I got. I use this pretty much in every single video because I'm obsessed. Gold highlighter dust. You need gold in your life. Yo, look how pretty it is. It makes everything pop, I'm telling you. So, per my other videos, you see me always mix my gold highlighter dust with a little bit of alcohol or lemon extract so I can turn it into a paint. So on these plain berries, I'm just brushing a few brush strokes of gold on the berry. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate. And then on the berries where it has the gold sanding sugar, I really wanted to blow minds with my gold, so I'm just going to brush gold on top of that, just so it pops. Look at the difference. Love it. Alright, all done. So I'm going to put my berries on a plate. And you see I left a few berries plain, and that's just because on the cake I'm going to cut those and then put them on the cake. Look at my beautiful berries. Yes, my berry children. Yes. Shh, my berries. Alright, so next I took the cake out the fridge, and it was chilling for about 20 to 30 minutes so the crumb coat is nice and firm. And I'm going to go ahead and ice the top half of the cake in white. And the customer said his girlfriend's favorite color is teal, so I'm going to do a teal ombre effect on the cake. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to ice the bottom part of the cake in the darker teal. You know, side note, is it teal or is it turquoise? I don't like the word turquoise. I don't know what it is. Me and turquoise got beef. I don't like it. I just want to know your thoughts. Teal or turquoise? Alright, so next I'm taking my white icing, and you see that I'm icing the middle section of the cake so that way those two colors blend together in a fade technique. And the way that I'm going to smooth my cake is I like to use the hot water method. So I'm taking my bench scraper, I'm running it under super hot water, and then I am running it along the edges of the cake so it's almost like you're ironing your cake. So this is my favorite way of smoothing my cakes. And then I take my bench scraper with a napkin, and I like to go around the base of the cake in order to clean it up. Alright, now my black fondant has been sitting out, right? So for some reason the black fondant starts to get a little ashy, guys. It gets a little ashy. So I like to take my food brush, dip in a little bit of vegetable oil, and brush it so that way it gives it a shine. And then I'm going to take some gold bling bling. We're just going to wrap that around the base of the cake. And I'm going to use my pearl sheen so I can give the cake a glossy sheen. Now listen, like I said, I don't like ashy, I don't like ashy. And for some reason the pearl on the blackboards always make it ashy. So then I always go with the paper towel and then clean it up. And then I'm going to put my silhouette characters on there. Now see, look how shiny they are. I like that. Yes, moisturized. Next, I'm going to do my white chocolate drip. So I'm putting some chocolate in a bag. I'm just going to drip a few lines down. One of those lines got carried away. They wanted to do what they wanted to do, and I didn't like it. But it's okay because you'll see how I fix that later. The cool thing about drip cakes is you can just let your creativity run wild. Let those creative juices flow through you. So next I am taking my love topper that I found at the store. And I'm going to put that in the middle. And then I'm going to start to arrange my berries on top of the cake. I also have some golden Oreos, and I'm going to put those on top of the cake also. Draping on the pearls there. And it's a good thing that I made 3 pearls because one of them broke, which I figured that was going to happen because I really wanted to in the first place. Now that that chocolate drip has hardened, I'm going to paint the chocolate drip gold. I also took some skewers and I taped those to the end of the topper inserts because I actually wanted to extend my topper higher so that the flowers and the berries don't actually block the word love. Alright, so as you can see, I'm using flowers and I'm strategically and artistically, you like those choice of words, arranging those on my cake. Now, don't talk about me right now, okay? Don't shame me, okay? All you advanced cake decorators, do not shame me. I'm not good at making sugar flowers, okay? I stay in my lane. They look terrible. So, I like to use real flowers or silk flowers. So these are silk flowers that I actually got from Michael's. I love their arrangements of silk flowers, so pretty. So what I'm doing is also taking some of those plain strawberries and I cut those in half and I'm also arranging those on the cake. Now I also have some diamonds. Diamonds are forever. And I got those from Michael's too. So these are plastic craft diamonds. I have not used isomalt yet in my life. One day I will. So for now, I like to use these little plastic diamonds. I clean those off and I use icing to stick them onto the cake board. Diamonds are forever. Now the song is in my head. Okay, so next what I want to do, because in my life it's all gold everything, baby, I am going to do some gold embellishing on my flowers. I'm doing some gold embellishing on my berries. And guess what? I'm gonna do gold embellishing on some of the icing. Look at that. Look how glorious and radiant it is. Even some of those Oreos, baby, are getting gold embellishing. Now, when you do detailing like this is what makes your customer pick up the cake and be like, oh, I cannot believe my eyeballs. And I'm just like, yeah. Look at it. All right, so my customer wanted the cake board to say, will you marry me? I have another confession. I don't know how I'm gonna say this, you guys. All right, here goes. I am a cake decorator that has terrible handwriting. No, don't try to make me feel better and say it's not that bad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You see me struggling. You see me already messed up that first part. What is that? I'm trying my best. So I'm just making do. Okay. I don't like handwriting and icing. None of that. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the cake board. Rearrange my little diamonds there. And per usual, you know I like all gold everything, so I'm just gonna do little gold detailing around those words. Don't talk about my confession, okay? And then cake glitter, gold cake glitter. Alright, and we're done. Look how beautiful it is. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It brings tears to my eyeballs. Congratulations to my customer Gerald and his new fiance Elizabeth. She said yes. Whoop whoop.